In 1976, a young Manhattan prosecutor walked into a bar, spotted a man talking to a reporter, marched straight up to him, pointed a finger directly in his face, and asked, "And who is this?" The man, a defense attorney named Judith Sheindlin, looked at her and shot back, "Lady, get your finger out of my face." It was not a promising start. But that blunt, fearless exchange would go on to define one of the most enduring partnerships in television history, because the woman with the finger was Judith Sheindlin, and within 20 years, the world would know her simply as Judge Judy. Judge Judy built an empire on nothing more than a sharp tongue, a no-nonsense attitude, and a black robe. She ruled daytime television for over 2 decades and became one of the richest women ever to appear on TV. Millions watched her put people in their place with a single glare. But behind that unshakable image was a woman who faced real personal struggles of her own, a broken first marriage, painful betrayals, and public accusations that threatened to unravel everything she'd built. Her story is far more complicated than the confident figure viewers saw on screen. To understand how she became that figure, you have to go back to Brooklyn, where she was born Judith Susan Blum, into a family with German and Russian Jewish roots. She often spoke fondly of her parents. Her father Murray was a dentist she once called the greatest thing since sliced bread, and her mother Ethel, an office manager Judy described as a meat and potatoes kind of gal. She graduated from James Madison High School in 1961, studied government at American University in Washington, D.C., earning her degree in 1963, and went on to New York Law School, becoming a lawyer in 1965. After passing the New York bar exam, she took a job as a corporate lawyer for a cosmetics company, work that left her unfulfilled. She quit to focus on raising her 2 children, Jamie and Adam. Then, in 1972, a friend mentioned an opening for a prosecutor in New York's family court. That role fit her far better. She stepped into the courtroom and, for the first time, found her voice. In 1982, New York Mayor Ed Koch took notice of her sharp instincts and appointed her a judge in criminal court. Just 4 years later, she became the supervising judge of Manhattan's family court, quickly earning a reputation as tough, a label she never fully embraced, even though everyone agreed she didn't play around. That bold personality eventually caught the attention of a much wider audience. In 1993, the Los Angeles Times ran a profile on her, a story inspired in part by journalist Josh Gitlin's wife, Heidi, both of whom Judy later credited with jump-starting her rise to fame. Soon after, she appeared in a segment on CBS's 60 Minutes that made her a recognizable name across the country. Audiences responded to her directness and her commanding courtroom presence. That attention led to her first book in 1996, Don't Pee on My Leg and Tell Me It's Raining, and that same year she retired from the family court bench. But her career was far from over. It was about to transform entirely. In 1995, she was offered the chance to headline her own courtroom television show. She said yes. Judge Judy, premiered on September 16, 1996, built around real small claims cases and real rulings. Viewers were hooked immediately. She brought her actual bailiff from family court, Petrie Bird, known simply as Bird, along with her. He would go on to become the longest-serving bailiff in courtroom television history. The Oprah Winfrey Show. From 2009 until it ended in 2021, it was the #1 show in all of daytime TV. Audiences loved the speed and certainty with which Judy handled every case. Writer Brendan Kerner once observed that viewers weren't looking for complicated legal nuance. They wanted to watch wrongdoers publicly held accountable by a firm authority figure. And that's exactly what Judge Judy delivered. In a 2013 Reader's Digest poll, Americans said they trusted her more than they trusted all 9 justices of the U.S. Supreme Court combined. She had become part of the cultural fabric, referenced on The Simpsons, Will and Grace, and Saturday Night Live. In 2003, VH1 named her one of the 200 greatest pop culture icons of all time. And with fame came extraordinary wealth. By 2005, she was earning $25 million a year. By 2007, her net worth hit $95 million, placing her among the richest women in entertainment. In 2008, her salary jumped to $45 million, yet even at the height of her success, she briefly considered walking away, saying in 2010 that she thought 2013 would be a nice time to retire. It's nice to leave on top. She didn't. In 2011, during a taping of her show, she fainted and was rushed to the hospital. It turned out to be a mini-stroke. She recovered quickly and returned to work almost immediately. That same year, CBS renewed her contract yet again, this time for $47 million a year. Since she only filmed 52 days annually, that worked out to more than $900,000 for every single day on set. By 2017, Forbes reported she'd earned $147 million before taxes, making her the highest-paid television host in the world at that time. She once joked dryly, "You want the Emmy, or you want a job?" A nod to the fact that after 14 consecutive years without a single daytime Emmy, she finally won her first in 2013, followed by wins in 2016 and 2017. In 2015, Guinness World Records named her the longest-serving television judge in history. But even legends hit limits. Judy grew increasingly frustrated with certain network decisions and faced her share of lawsuits along the way, including one from Rebel Entertainment. In March 2020, on The Ellen DeGeneres Show, she announced that season 25 would be her last. 25 is a good round number, she said. Her final case was taped on June 8, 2021, and the last episode aired on July 23, 2021. But Judy made it clear she wasn't finished. She was simply beginning something new. Before Judge Judy had even ended, she was already planning her next move, Judy Justice. The new show premiered on November 1, 2021, with production having started that July, just months after her old show wrapped taping. This time, she wasn't on cable. Judy Justice launched on Amazon's streaming platform, known during its first season as IMDb TV, making it the first courtroom show ever to debut exclusively on a streaming service. The format got a modern refresh, a different colored robe, an updated set, and new faces, including her own granddaughter, who brought a Gen Z perspective to the bench. She leaned on a court stenographer more heavily, often replaying exactly what litigants said. The show aimed for a slower, more dramatic pace than her old rapid-fire style, focusing on single cases with larger cash awards. Not every change sat well with longtime fans. Her decades-long bailiff, Petrie Bird, wasn't part of the new show, replaced by Kevin Rasco. Bird later admitted he felt confused and hurt, saying Judy never personally discussed the change with him. She explained the show was heading in a new creative direction and praised him as terrific, but for many loyal viewers, his absence was hard to accept. Bird, for his part, held no bitterness. He thanked her for everything and, in April 2022, joined another Sheindlin-created show, Tribunal Justice, alongside two former hot bench judges and her own son, Adam Levy. Though Judy Justice didn't match the ratings of Judge Judy reruns, it made its own history, becoming the most-watched show on IMDb TV by streaming hours and earning a second season that premiered on November 7, 2022. Judy even won a daytime Emmy for the new show, making her the only television judge ever to win the award for two separate courtroom programs. Her career extended well beyond the courtroom set. She appeared on countless programs over the years: Entertainment Tonight, The Ellen DeGeneres Show, Larry King Live, Good Morning America, and The Wendy Williams Show. In 1998, she surprised audiences by appearing live on Saturday Night Live, interrupting a sketch that was mocking her, proof she could laugh at herself. That same year, she made a cameo in the TV movie Chicago Hope, appearing as herself in a courtroom scene, and served as a judge for the Miss America pageant in 1999. In February 2000, a one-hour biography documentary titled Judge Judy, Sitting in Judgment aired, chronicling her personal story. She appeared on Shatner's Raw Nerve in 2008 and gave a 2-hour interview to the Archive of American Television in 2009. In 2013, she opened up further in an interview with Katie Couric at the 92nd Street Y. In 2014, she launched her own production company, Queen Bee Productions, which created Hot Bench, a courtroom show featuring 3 judges instead of 1. The idea came to her while watching a similar format in Ireland with her husband. "We watched a 3-judge bench, which I found both fascinating and compelling," she said. She assembled a panel of Patricia Di Mango, Tanya Acker, and Larry Bachman, later replaced by Michael Corriero, and the show became a hit in its own right, produced, like her original series, by CBS and Randy Douthat. In 2016, CBS announced a scripted drama based loosely on her life, titled Her Honor. Following a young judge balancing career success with personal chaos, Judy served as an executive producer. That same year, she created a short-lived game show called Eyewitness, which tested viewers' memory of video clips, and in 2017 she appeared on the Fox News series, Objectified, for an in-depth personal interview. Not all the attention was positive. In 2017, the National Enquirer published false claims about her, alleging an affair, brain damage, and Alzheimer's disease, and even falsely claiming her daughter Nicole had a criminal record. The tabloid later apologized publicly, but the damage had already been done, a stark reminder that even someone as formidable as Judy wasn't immune to being hurt by baseless rumors. That same year brought a lighter moment, a spot-on parody of her courtroom on Curb Your Enthusiasm, with matching sets, music, and voiceover style. In 2018, she appeared on Norm Macdonald's Netflix talk show, continuing her streak of high-profile media appearances. Through it all, she never slowed down, using her platform not just to build her own name, but to give back. Judy has always taken pride in her resilience. She was the only woman in her law school class, became a corporate lawyer by 23, and built a reputation in family court as someone who simply couldn't be rattled. Beyond the camera, she and her stepdaughter Nicole Sheindlin launched a mentoring program called Her Honor Mentoring, helping young women build confidence and explore career paths. In 2017, she opened a debate forum at the University of Southern California called the Sheindlin Forum, driven by her belief that, when one searches for the truth, one should be armed with all available information. A closed mind is a dangerous thing. She authored several books offering life advice, including What Would Judy Say? A grown-up guide to living together with benefits, in 2013, and its follow-up, Be the Hero of Your Own Story, in 2014. Her honors include multiple honorary doctorates, a Distinguished Alumni Award from New York Law School, and the Woman of the 21st Century Award from Cedars-Sinai's Women's Guild. In 2020, she even joined the political stage, supporting Mike Bloomberg's presidential campaign and touring the southern United States on his behalf, declaring at one stop, "It's the most perfect country in the world." But for all her public strength, her personal life followed a far rockier path. Her first marriage came at just 20 years old. In 1964, she married Ronald Levy, a young attorney, shortly after finishing school. She later admitted she married him partly because he was a nice guy, a good dancer, and it simply felt like the right time. Most of her friends were getting married, and she wanted children in her 20s. She never saw herself as a woman who only wanted a career, she wanted a family too. She briefly practiced law at a cosmetics company before leaving to become a full-time housewife. She and Ronald had 2 children, Jamie, born in 1966, and Adam, in 1968. Judy grew restless and unfulfilled as a stay-at-home mother. After a period of time, I was bored, not being engaged outside of the home, she admitted. She gave it a genuine try for 5 or 6 years before deciding it wasn't the life for her. She returned to school, earned a family law degree from NYU, and went back to work in 1972, determined to prove she could hold both a career and a family. But Ronald never took her ambitions seriously, treating her job like a hobby. Judy later reflected, "My first husband is a lovely, lovely man, but he always viewed my job as a hobby, and there came a time when I resented that." That resentment eventually ended the marriage, and they divorced after 12 years together. Her second chance at love began in 1976, shortly after that divorce, while she was working as a prosecutor in Manhattan's family court. That's the year she walked into a bar, saw defense attorney Judith Sheindlin talking to a reporter, and, in true Judy fashion, pointed a finger directly at him and demanded, "And who is this?" His blunt reply, "Lady, get your finger out of my face," somehow marked the start of something lasting. They connected quickly and married in 1977. But their early relationship wasn't simple. While Judy was already divorced, Jerry was still legally married, though separated. He initially wanted to simply live together, but Judy refused, insisting she wouldn't stay unless he finalized his divorce. "I want to see your divorce in the newspaper, or don't bother calling again," she reportedly told him. He eventually agreed, and once his divorce was official, they married. Together, they blended a family of 5 children, Jerry's 3, Nicole, Gregory, and Jonathan, from his first marriage, and Judy's 2, Jamie and Adam. Jerry once joked, "If the 5 children did not get along, we would just say goodbye," though Judy herself doesn't recall saying it. Somehow, the blended family thrived. 3 of their 5 children went into law, following in their parents' footsteps. Adam became a district attorney and later a judge on tribunal justice, while Gregory built his own career in law, eventually opening the Sheindlin law firm.